more Kim and Kanye news. And let's get into this tea about, Bethenny Frankel offering her 2 cents. But before we get to that part, apparently Kim Kardashian is, a word on the street, is mulling over a big decision, whether to go to court and ask a judge to strip Koonye of joint legal custody of their 4 children because her ex-husband has frequently ignored their custody agreement. Now it says the legal war has reportedly set off. Kanye, who's 47, agreed during a mediation session with Kim on Friday, March 14th, not to release a song featuring their 11-year-old daughter and disgraced rapper The Diddler, who is currently facing numerous crime allegations of the sexual kind, according to TMZ. The track Lonely Roads Still Go to Sunshine includes a phone call conversation between the Diddler and Koonye, and the Kardashian star was vehemently opposed to letting North participate in any way. However, both Kim and Koonye have equal say in making decisions for their children. So now sources told TMZ that the A-listers' divorce settlement included a process for resolving conflicts between Kim and Koonye, requiring them to consult a private judge. Now, according to the outlet, both Kim and Koonye attended a mediation session with the respective attorneys, Laura Wasser and Patrick DeCrolis, where they agreed that North would not appear on any version of the song if it were released. But then again, I heard the song. I was going to say we, but I actually listened to a little bit of it because it was on Twitter when I was looking up stuff. But yeah, apparently when I heard the song, I heard the Diddy segment where he was up in there just talking about that, oh yeah, I got your back and I believe in you and all this other stuff and how he'll prevail and blah, blah, blah. All the usual stuff. They say, oh, God got my back. No, they ain't no God when it comes to the shenanigans that you pulled against the people that you did dirty. So now they said that despite the agreement, the Heartless rapper released a song with his daughter's rap lyrics on Saturday, March 15th. He also shared an alleged private text message exchange between him and Kim, in which they discussed how the mother of 4 was trying to protect their daughter from appearing on the song. Later that day, Koonye continued to air out their drama by slamming the Kardashian mob on Twitter. See, now this is, I don't understand how, if you're supposed to be a man about whatever, you have to always go on social media and interject us into your tight ass group chat so that way you can get some type of sympathy and empathy. I was like, child, if you don't stop messing with the thing so I can go to the other picture. Thank you. So yeah, he went and said the following. I don't want to just, and he of course puts it in some freaking caps. I don't want to just see my kids. I need to raise them. I need to have say-so of where, Jesus Christ, he's put where, W-E-A-R. It's W-H-E-R-E. They go to school. He really is a college dropout. Quiet as it's kept. I think he's a middle school dropout. Because if you can't spell where, which is W-H-E-R-E instead of W-A-R, there's no hope for you, sir. And basically said where they go to school, who their friends are, and whose houses they sleep over, and put weather as in the weather. Like weatherman, W-E-A-T-H-E-R, it's W-H-E-T-H-E-R. Now I gotta come up here and be the English teacher. Saying my daughters wear lipstick and perfume, Ye wrote via Twitter on Saturday, March 15th. All these rights have been taken from me by the Kardashian mob, Hulu and Disney, and the bigger agenda to use the selectively bred Black children to be platforms to influence Black people. Wait, what? He said, and the bigger agenda to use the selectively bred Black children to be platform. Child, now, if anybody was in the sunken place, Kanye would be patient zero in regards of Get Out and being, that type of person. Now, the next day, they said that he reiterated his point, saying the man makes the final decision. So now he's being misogynistic. He wants to be controlling. He wants to be able to say, I want my kids to wear this. They need to be going here. I want to be able to control every part of their whole situation. So you basically just want, but I can understand if you, as a parent, want to navigate your children to make sure that they're respectful, that they're not doing this, but we don't need you trying to pass on any kind of bigotry to your children. I don't know if the Kardashians is doing that with their kids. I hope, with them being half-breeds, that's all I ever heard, that they're learning about their Black history. And we don't have Koonye coming up in here teaching them this racial propaganda about Nazism and all the other ignorant things that you want to indoctrinate them with. With all the money y'all got, they have the ability to go to the most prestigious schools. Because how did that educational system work out for you, sir, with Donda Academy? So now they're saying that with Kim, she's seriously considering going to court to ask a judge to strip Kim of joint legal custody. They said if Kim did choose to pursue legal action against Ye, it is reported that physical custody was not an issue, as he rarely sees their children, and she has encouraged their relationship with him. In addition to North, Kim and Koonye share 3 other children, as y'all know, Saint, Chicago, and Psalm. The report also noted that Koonye recently hosted an event where he encouraged attendees to wear swastika shirts, and she felt it was inappropriate for their children to be present at such an event. So if they're doing all of this, I definitely feel like she's got enough evidence to go against him in the court and strip him of his parental rights. And I know people like, here y'all go, trying to take children away from a black man. It goes beyond that. Because if this man has been selling up his own people for white approval, if he's out here spewing anti-Semitism, if he's out here spewing any kind of ignorant or discrimination against marginalized groups when he's a marginalized motherfucker his damn self, I don't care how much goddamn money he's got. He's a nigger at the end of the day. Let's call it what it is in the eyes of the white folks. So we're not going to sit up here and try to act, oh, because he got money that he gets a pass, or because you were a fan of his music from back in the day and not recently that he gets a pass. He does not. And if he's a danger to his children, if he's indoctrinating a bunch of BS on his kids, she need to step up and take them kids away from him. If he was doing what he needed to be doing as a fucking father, he wouldn't be in the position that he's in. So let's call it what it is. So let's stop all that, taking this one and keeping this one down. Go shove that shit up your ass. Because I'm tired of people with that. I understand what it's like to be dealing with custody battles and things because I had a goddaughter that I had to raise. So when I come up here and I say shit, I'm saying it for a goddamn reason. And dealing with custody battles and her being in the position that she was in with her parents. Well, her mother wasn't of sound mind. And things of that nature. So when I come up here and I say things, I'm not just pulling shit out my ass. Let's be clear with that. And I'm saying all this because in case people try to come in the comments with they bullshit. So yes, Koonye need to have his right stripped. And I understand she wanted to do the right thing and don't want to be seen as the bad guy and have her kids resent her and all the other stuff. But at the end of the day, if this is what she's trying to do, I'm here to protect my kids. Now, in addition to that, let's get to what Bethenny Frankel had to say in regards of her giving some advice to Kim in regards of, because she's apparently been keeping up with Kim and Koonye's feud. So she got on Instagram to offer Kim some free advice amid her ongoing war with Kanye. Because, she's been through the whole court situation. Remember, she was married to Jason Hoppy for 2 years. It took her 10 years to get out of her divorce. And she's been dealing with a lot of stuff because I followed Bethenny back in the day. Back when I used to watch The Housewives of New York, I love me some Bethenny Frankel. And I even watched her Bethenny Ever After. I was watching all that. So I was fully a Bethenny and I was invested in her whole situation and seeing her get married to Jason, who kind of looked like a poor man's Gavin Newsom, by the way. And I don't like Gavin Newsom, especially with the little stunts he's been pulling lately. But anyway, let me get to her clip. And then we're going to play what we got to say, and then we'll talk. Please hold.
My advice to Kim Kardashian, as someone who has been through a horrific decade-long divorce on a 2-year marriage and got primary custody and no child support that I had to pay. So here's the deal. The media is focused on the trademark, like who owns the trademark of Northwest, because she's been featured on a Kanye Diddy song, which is alarming at best. Kim is texting Kanye, who's not a rational person, and she's texting him as if he's a rational person, and she should not be speaking to him at all. She should be speaking to him by proxy. Somebody else should be the one interacting with him because, again, he's not rational and he's sharing her texts, and that's a violation. In addition, people are focusing on the trademark, when in fact it's about the decision making. She presumably or will have decision making. And that's so important in a divorce because people always focus on the custody time as they were focused earlier in their divorce. What's most critical is decision making, because God forbid something happens that's medical with the kids or education or something important, religion, big ticket items. You need a sane, rational, non-punitive party to be making those decisions. And if Kim has decision making, then it's irrelevant whether or not she has the trademark for her daughter, because a best interest of the child matter. A judge doesn't care about trademarks as much. Like, that's a business lawyer. A judge that focuses on custody matters is always focused on what is in the best interest of the child. And even if their agreement says something otherwise, the judge is always going to err on the best interest of the child. In my situation, I moved out of my apartment when I technically wasn't supposed to, because it's called abandonment, but I made that judgment call because of circumstances going on within the house. The judge applauded that. In addition, I bought my own home, which you're not supposed to do because the finances haven't been sorted, but that also was applauded because it gave me a safe space emotionally to be with my child. So judges are human beings. They are not only about the letter of the law when it comes to the interests of the child. My advice to Kim Kardashian.
So everything that Bethenny said, I totally agree with. Where, especially, at this point, I do feel like she needs to stop talking to him. He has violated your personal stuff. I understand that he probably thinks, well, she does a reality show. But not everything is revealed in a reality show. We always get to see a piece of what's going on in these people's lives. So if I'm parenting with you, then if I'm texting you on stuff, you should not be revealing anything that we're talking about in private because you need attention or whatever the case is. It's a rational person trying to speak to someone who is clearly irrational in their entire existence. So at this point, since you are violating my trust, since you're putting my kids' lives in danger because you want attention from social media, then I'm no longer speaking to you. Now we're going through a mediator. Now I'm going, when she said, a proxy, which is you're going to have to go through my lawyer. So if you want to see your kids, we need a middleman to come through this, because I clearly cannot talk to you like a regular human being because you don't know how to act like a regular human being. So now we got to bring somebody in that we can have the conversation and deal with you, with whatever kind of issues you got going on up in your damn noggin. So Kim, in my opinion, has had the cards in her corner the entire time. And he probably thinks that, if I throw North on a song or whatever, then that equates to the fact that I'm not in the picture. That you want to walk around with Bianca and her, double Fs hanging down to her freaking knees at 30, thinking that shit's cute. Where her back is probably killing her, and how you at 28 when your titty is basically the size of Aretha Franklin's? Who was in her 60s and 70s. So you're going around parading around your new wife, if y'all are actually married, doing all kinds of embarrassing things for attention. Like, all of these raise the alarm. So I feel like Kim needs to take his ass to court, strip him of his parental rights. He's barely there anyway, according to the reports. And Kim is, I think, even alluded to the fact that Koonye barely spends time in these kids' life. But look, at the end of the day, y'all both laid down, you made your bed, and you got to lie in it. So I'm with Bethenny on what she had to say, especially given it from a legal standpoint. Now, what people said in the comments, because of course we need to go to those and see what the people were saying. One person said those kids have zero chance of becoming normal with either parent. Another person said Northwest is already showing signs of narcissism, poor parenting. Agreed, because I've already seen, like, North has been crashing out on her mother. North has kind of been very rude and disrespectful, very shady. And we see the laugh at Kiki because I know, like, a lot of people don't particularly like Kim and what she stands for, how she moves, and they feel like she's getting, a lot of her karma through North. But still, what Koonye is doing, I feel like that's karma enough. They said a Koonye Diddy track featuring an underage girl, that's so effing sick. Well, child. And especially with the tea going on around Diddy and them alleged him messing with underage girls, it's giving Jeffrey Epstein tease. And Koonye is for it, which kind of makes us think, should we start digging into his past? Somebody said, let's not talk about someone else's kids. Or bitch, mind your fucking business. You ever let's not talk about someone else's kids. He took it to social media. So once you post stuff outside the group chat, and this is what I don't, what a lot of you slow folks don't seem to understand. Once people start airing their dirty laundry on social media, I'm going to speak on it. I'm going to give my advice. And Bethenny didn't come, she came in peace. She didn't come to be shady or rude. She's coming and saying that I'm going to give you advice because I've been there where you are heading. So let me give you some advice on social media. And who knows? I know maybe she should have called her in private, whatever, or DM'd her. I don't know what their friendship is. So she probably couldn't do that. But her putting this on social media, it also helps out other people who are in a similar situation. But of course, a lot of y'all about as deep as a pond. So, she's not gonna see that. There's another person said she really chose the wrong man to have children with. Another person said this is such a serious topic and I'm focused on the fruit salad. You wanna know something? I was too. I'm not gonna hold you, but I was looking at that fruit. I was like, "Oh, that look good." I was like, "Oh, I need to make me a fruit salad," because I already know this summer I'm gonna be eating a lot of fruit, a lot of what do you call it? Like the chicken Caesar salads. Like if I do salad, I gotta have something up in it, like chicken or whatever the case is. Like I can't eat no lettuce and shit. Like they be trying to act like, "Oh yeah, that's some good healthy." No, it's not. I need to put some meat up in my stuff. So anyway, I say all this because I'm going off on a tangent. What do you guys think of this story in regards of Kim and Koonye and Bethenny's advice? I don't feel like there was anything she said that was wrong. I totally agree with what she said, and she's offering her some really good advice. And I do feel like, at the end of the day, if you come with all this stuff, the judge don't care about brands or those other stuff. And unfortunately, when you are a child of two celebrities, you are a brand. And I heard that Kim has basically stepped in to take on the Kris Jenner role as in her momager of Northwest Career. So she has to make sure that her kids are protected. And yeah, a lot of these kids, they have to have their stuff trademarked and all this other stuff, because then people are gonna go out here and take advantage. I believe that, I forget which Kardashian kid, they said they had to, like, they didn't have access or a trademark. They had to trademark the kids before. I think it might have been Chloe that had to do it. But yeah, you gotta come out here and you gotta do what you gotta do to protect your children. Unfortunately, yeah, they're a brand, and it is what it is. So I want to hear from you also. Let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.